You guys are probably the most aware of how things operate, so keep your feet firmly planted on the ground and don't allow yourselves to get too arrogant. Your option is fantastic, but a lot of modern women live with their heads in the clouds, with the expectation that they will simply find and keep a man making over $100,000 a year who also has a terrific body and personality and all of those other desirable qualities. They may even reach to the point where they have children with guys they believe will be wonderful partners, but after all of the brightness and rainbows vanish, they will be left with nothing but a world of gloom. It can be difficult to take care of a single child, but it is significantly more difficult to manage the requirements of numerous children at the same time. The traditional portrayal of the boss lady as the strong, independent woman no longer holds water in today's society. Because we have the ability to choose our future relationships, if you aren't going for men who are going to be amazing parents, I won't feel bad if you end up being a single parent. It's because we have the ability to select our future partners. In many different cultures and religions, prostitution and having children outside of marriage are regarded as indicators of a person's lack of strength. As a result, these actions are looked down upon and prohibited. Take into consideration how children feel about their fathers. Today, the boss lady story is told over and over again, which leads women to believe they are wonderful and do not require men. However, the reality of the situation is typically very different from what is portrayed in the media. It is difficult for men to find a woman who is feminine and who does not have any problems as a result of this. It would appear that some modern women struggle with issues of varying nature, such as desiring to be the focal point of attention or having issues with their fathers. Other issues that contemporary women appear to struggle with include wanting to be the center of attention. Despite the large number of bodies and other evidence, not a single wife was located. If she is a single mother, she is more likely to have some of these issues, in addition to the obvious challenge of having a child or children who are not yours, and for whom you would be responsible for caring for if you dated her. If she is not a single mother, she is less likely to have some of these issues. If she is a single mother, she is more likely to have some of these issues. If this were the case, you would be responsible for the upbringing of the child of another man, which is in direct opposition to the masculine instinct to procreate one's own progeny. Unless the child is from a relative who has passed away, there is not much of a need to take care of, safeguard, and provide for the child of another guy, unless the child is from a relative who has died. Spending all of your time and money on children who are not your biological offspring is not in the best interest of you as a male, and is not in their best interest either. There is no reason to look after someone else's child when you have the opportunity to have a child of your own. This is not the best choice to make if you want to advance in life and make the most of the time you have available, both of which are important considerations. If the children are not your biological offspring, then you have no legal or moral obligation to care for them in any way. You did hear that right, and to be honest, I don't think I could have said it any better myself. If you are not emotionally and psychologically robust, you are bound to a lot of ego attacks and grief when you take on the role of a stepfather, since you have a lot of duty but no authority over your stepchildren. The child may at any point argue that you do not have the authority to instruct them, since you are not the child's biological father. In the first place, as Myron pointed out, you are investing your resources in the DNA of another individual. This practice is known as cutting a gold tree, and it is not a sound financial decision. After signing that contract, you will be considered an indentured servant, sometimes known as a servant who is disposable. You are a resource that can be used to help someone else's genes and a meal ticket at the same time. In terms of her legacy, do you believe that her child or children will grow up to be thankful to you and appreciate you for the job you've done? Best of luck to you with that. You might get a thank you note for all of the money, effort, and work that you put in, if you're lucky. It is more likely that a child who is wearing the genes of another man will openly mock and disrespect you when you are in your own home. Google Alpha Beta Bucks is also known as the female dual mating approach, and the beta provider is not respected by anyone. That is an excellent justification, and to make matters even worse, you are destined to lose not only money, but also the effort and time that you could put into engaging in pursuits that are more lucrative and gratifying, such as getting a part-time work. If you date a single mother, you are choosing to clean up someone else's problem, which brings me to the second point of this Quora post. She is selling defective products because she herself is damaged goods. If you choose to date a single mom, you are choosing to clean up someone else's mess. It is impossible for a woman to successfully form a romantic attachment if she engages in promiscuity or experiences conflict in her relationships. At some point, it is simply too late, and there has been an excessive amount of harm done. That psychological barrier can be overcome much more quickly than the vast majority of people understand. Although they may not meet the criteria for a diagnosis, the vast majority of single mothers, if not all of them, exhibit symptoms of personality disorders that fall within the cluster B category. The majority also come from dysfunctional family situations, and research has shown that trauma is transmitted from one generation to the next. A mother who raised her children by herself is likely to bring unresolved emotional issues to the table. Sleepless nights to look after you and the children is not in a man's best interest. Therefore, don't expect him to do it. I'm not going to ask him to watch after my children, but if he's going to take you seriously, he'll have no choice but to. If someone were to ask me for guidance on establishing a business or going to college, the response I would give them would be the same as if they were a single mother. Choose a woman who does not already have children if you are interested in dating or marrying her. If you date a woman who is a single parent, your chances of having a healthy and happy relationship with her are quite low. Do not get it twisted in your mind and believe that all mothers who raise their children alone are evil. It's true that some of them aren't, and that they put in a lot of effort for their children, but that's her responsibility, not yours. Additionally, you shouldn't play the game, Captain Save a Hoe. Yes, sir, that is the reason why, because you questioned it. No, please wait. I will complete this. Amongst other things, the fact that I had 2 children would make him content with you. You might be a great person, and I'm easy to get along with, but there are other women who don't have kids who are nicer and more attractive than you are, and they don't have any kids. You'll never date one again. Guys, keep going with what you're doing, and as always, I wish you a lot of success in anything you do. I concluded a relationship that had lasted for 3 years with a single mother. The thing about being a single mother is that it will end up causing you twice, thrice, or even 4 times as much heartache as if you had a partner. When you spend time with little Timmy playing Halo and pointing the baby gun at Billy, both of them will go with her, and you won't see them again. It is also simple for them to just put an end to the relationship and onto the next partner in their lives. They have dubious judgment skills. Be patient and wait for someone who can offer you the time you need to find someone else. They believe that her and her children will become the center of the universe. She is emotionally distant from others. The children will conspire to undermine you, although they have no intention of doing so. Simply by being present, you are extinguishing any hope of reconciliation between the 2 parents. They have an inaccurate perception of themselves. Any dating app worth its salt will have its fair share of single mothers. They have the unrealistic expectation that the world will revolve around them and their children. Please let me know if you refer to them by name.